Hello everyone, good evening to you all. This particular video is for my campus environment assignment on describing an area either in our undergraduate study or here which reflects the principles of universal design. And when I thought about this particular assignment, an area that quickly came in mind was Baker Center because of how unique the area is, having a lot of various offices such as the Multicultural Center, the OIT, the Women's Center, the escalators and elevators, offering that chance for people to access every part of the building and all of that. But I thought about it and I said, that place is already very familiar to you guys. You know the area already, so I don't think I can even describe it better than you guys. So there was no need for me to talk about that. And two, Erin is also very familiar with Baker Center, but I thought of then taking you back home to Ghana, where I had my undergraduate study. Permit me to make a few errors in this video because it's been a long time since I completed it, for some years now since I completed my undergraduate study, so I may not remember the exact little details in describing the place, but at least I'm going to try my best to make it very clear as much as possible, so at least you have a fair idea of how the place I'm going to describe looks like. At my undergraduate studies, I completed at University for Development Studies, which is in the northern part of Ghana, and one of the topmost state-owned universities in the country. There's probably no facility that comes close to Baker Center or that is like Baker Center, obviously, if I'm being honest, but one that is a bit similar or has some features that Baker has and provides some of the resources that Baker offers to students was our university major administrative hall. That was the name given to it, the major administrative block. It had all the administrative offices in there with two lecture halls at both wings joined together. So it was more like, if I am given a pictorial, it looks more like a bread. And it was a 3-story building. If I am using the principles of universal design, I will talk about flexibility in use first. In terms of flexibility, I'll talk about two things. First of all, the place was having all the major offices on campus, including even the university chancellor's office, dean's offices were there, accounts offices were there, faculty staff offices were inside there. So when students stopped there and needed any kind of help, that was a place that they could easily find the help they needed. So clearly, that's a very flexible place. Secondly, on flexibility again, aside the major offices being located there, that place was also opened at every point in time, so students could easily have access to it except on Sundays. So that is more of a flexible area. When we talk about equitable use, that is a part that I had a little issue with. I would say the place offered equality in terms of use, but not equitable use. Why? Because in equality, everyone was free to use it. Of course, it was open to everyone. But since the building was a 3-story building and had only stairs, it means that students who had some form of disability or mobility issues would struggle taking the stairs to top floors. And that was actually a part that I would say does not really match the equitable use aspect. On simplicity and intuitive use, clearly the place was very simple, but again, as I said in the equitable use, definitely it was simple but not very intuitive, in the sense that at least they could have provided one elevator or escalator to allow students who cannot move easily to access the other parts of the building. Then on low physical effort, that part too, what I saw was that it's offered some form of low physical effort, in the sense that since the two lecture halls were also connected, students who entered the main administrative block could easily go to the East Wing lecture hall and the West Wing lecture hall with ease. Yes, and that was another thing that made the building also stand out, and it was actually very beautiful in terms of how the structure was. Finally, I would like to talk about the tolerance for error. Inside the building, one other thing that was very common was that there was a standby generator that was always active. Since I was there, I think we experienced some lights out that were more like original lights out. Anytime it goes off, the plant quickly gives us light to continue with our lecture. And those who were in those buildings too could continue with their work and all of that. So I would say somehow that was also another part in terms of tolerance for error that was also captured. These are some of the things I saw about that particular building, and I believe you guys are having a good evening. Thank you.